Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium with me, Bring It On. Let's talk to Manana.
The boyardero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Your danger comes with the boyardero lifestyle, right?
There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife, not bullets.
He shrugs.
It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace, though. You have a true boyardero heart.
Right. So where is everyone?
Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out, for the time being.
You can't help me get inside?
No, man. Not today. Today is war.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's no big deal.
What's going to happen next?
Time will tell. I'll tell Everard you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad.
He shrugs, then he gives you a small wink. That weasel I visited, turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
He nods, rubbing his chin. Yes, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values.
Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
He touches his beret. What will you be doing now?
I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am.
He surveys the red flags, straight from the harbor gates.
Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live.
Yeah, try not to get shot, eh?
I'm sure I'll be luckier than you, friend.
His grin is as wide as a desert. I like Manana. He's, he just comes across as very charismatic. Him and Tommy, a couple of my favorite voice actors in the game. And Egghead. I love Egghead. Alright, so I do want to swing by the library. I'm going to buy all the books and stuff because I have a thought here. This still has another 10 hours and 11 minutes. It takes a super long time to research. I'm going to try and kill as much time as I can by reading books and stuff, talking to all NPCs again, see what they have to say about the Tribunal. So I'm in a hurry to finish the game, and there's still a lot to experience.
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked. No sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this ghetto.
She unloads immediately. I'm the one who got shot here, ma'am.
Oh my god! Even the police can't take care of all of this. Just look at that limp. Someone should do something about this.
She rubs her pendant between two fingers, thinking.
Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Yes! It makes sense. Crime is the 6th element, you see. The darkest element.
She nods to herself.
I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies and to fight crime.
Nod. Sounds like a plan. Life must go on after all.
Yes, what Martinez really needs is more vigilantes roaming the streets.
Exactly. It's a brilliant idea. Thank you, officer. I'm going to start drawing up business plans right away. In the meantime, do buy the books. As many as you can. They won't be here for much longer. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Determination shines in her eyes. Nope, that's it. Let's see what books we can buy.
The display rack.
There's that board game we can get too.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Want to buy the Suzerainty game?
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
She smiles at you. Want to buy the Wirral game?
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
She gives you a curious glance.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
I actually am.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen.
I want to buy this Dick Mullen novel.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
She shudders.
Shelves full of biography. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Alright, I want to buy Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you.
She mumbles, staring at the book for a moment.
Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Me too. Don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but we've got a lot of stuff now. So board game Suzerainty. A civilization building board game where you can choose a nation and set off to colonialize and exploit other cultures. A star-shaped note in the box proclaims the game now includes a completely new genocide option. Jeez. Then we're all. A high pasternal fantastique populaire board game, illustrated with bucolic vistas and featuring odd-looking humanoid creatures. It's a 3rd edition mega setting, supplements module, and can't be played without the main game. I don't have the main game. Book Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. Another Dick Mullen book that woefully misrepresents the nature of police work. In this one, our detective returns from a trip having successfully solved one case, only to embark on another. Does he finally face the taxing nature of his occupation? No. He doesn't even look like a normal officer of the law. And Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. A small green book giving off a peculiar foreboding impression, although it's hard to figure out why. It describes the various ways of healing debilitating ailments through the use of pale, some of which sound implausible at best. Alright, and also I want to try lifting this thing one more time. It's the one skill check that's constantly on my mind. So besides the smoker, I think it's our most failed skill check.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor.
Alright, let's do this. Get rid of that and slap these bad boys on. And put 1 point into physical instruments.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Alright, lift the barbell. It's about darn time.
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
Oh yeah.
A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to. Hey, but you're still in a ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here?
Good technique.
Lieutenant nods with approval. Alright, so we didn't get a lot done from that, but I'm glad it's finally done. I guess I don't need to wear this anymore, right? We just got through the Tribunal. I could probably put on something a little bit more flashy. Where am I? There they are. I think I'll keep it on just in case. We should go talk to the dice maker as well while we're in here. She should have finished our dice, right? It's been 3 days. We can order some new dice. So I'm hoping... I still have to kill 10 hours before we... go talk to Lillian. So I'm assuming... that's going to wrap up the game. If we find the last... that's the last main quest objective, right? You go to the island.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Yeah, I came back to pick up my die.
Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die.
Here you go.
1 universal die for Wiro Untethered.
The dice maker opens her desk drawer and hands you a die. Hey, we just picked up that game too. Look at it.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
Can I order another die?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer.
Oh. Oh. I should have really paid more attention to the available dice then, and made a more educated decision. Well, let's see what we got. Standard anti-royale die. The standard 24-sided role-playing die can be used to get results for several dice. It's made of alligator jawbone cast in acrylic resin and embellished with frost motifs. Looks like a minuscule blizzard is stuck in there. Note, look at the map tab and journal to see which white checks have opened. Well, I am intrigued. What do we got? Alright, all of these are technically done. Even if I didn't do them, they're not available except for Gaston. Mirror. So Lillian's unlocked. The cargo container door, which I don't think I can do that. Well, I can't even get to the cargo container. It's behind the harbor gates. A box of sunglasses and ceiling. Supposedly Joyce isn't there anymore. I was gonna go talk to Sealing anyway. He's on my list of NPCs to speak to. And Kuno. I'm gonna go see what Kuno has to say about the Tribunal. We also have a lot of books to read, because there's also that one book that I found. This one. So starting there, then working our way down. I'm assuming I play the board games with Kim. So I think next episode will be nothing but reading books and playing games, just to kill more time. So I would like to explore the thoughts that I have unlocked. Or at least get the the finished dialogue for it. Tools, here we go. Yeah, screw it.
The shine on these.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Alright, try again. Maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in the box. Ah, I see a pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says, Sub-Interlindic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand-carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
For the first time, the street vendor's voice trails off, as he watches you inspect the glasses. Try them on.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool.
The street vendor has picked up his pace again, as you observe the world through deep, sea-tinted lenses.
And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
He declares, eyes still squinted behind his own glasses. Yeah, I'll take those ugly glasses.
A good starter pair, officer. And when you're ready to upgrade, come back and see me.
I'll take those cool deep blue glasses.
A man who knows his style. Much respect.
The street vendor nods. I'll take the amphibian sports visor.
Sporty and practical, officer. Good choice.
Alright, we're a little low on money. I don't think we're going to need any money, but still. Alright, shades of self-destruction. These death-tinted shades come with an odd longing for self-destruction. They're ugly. You don't even need a mirror to know this. Describing them is futile. Better get a glass of wine. An amphibian sports visor. The malformed green frog of the visor seems to keep an eye on your surroundings. A beady, suspicious eye. The lime-tinted cellophane appears to be poorly molded. The imprint says, "Made in Safray." Any thoughts on those? No. Perception, sea monster's vision, +1 inland empire, sea monster's soul. The truth is you can't really see very well through the darkened specks, but you feel truly tender in this newly found deep sea plane. 2 blue tinted lenses sit in a bone carved frame, but they've always belonged there.
You keep...
If he really wants to save the economy, he'd let you pay with net worth.
Alright,
Go over and ask him if you can.
I want to buy the windbreaker.
Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
The street vendor seems pleased. I want to buy those itchy pants.
You won't regret it, officer.
The street vendor smiles broadly. Now, I don't know if we're about to wrap up the game or not. It feels like we're coming to a close once we do go to the island. That's why I'm spending all this money. Plus, I've been sitting on a ton of money for a while. So, plus we have somewhere free to sleep if I need to. Yeah, I think this is fine. Now, this nylon wind cheater is so dynamic. It wraps around you like a membrane. Equipped with a stowable hood, the backside of the garment is covered in sport and summer-related text. It swishes softly as you walk. Then itchy pants. +2 to half light, -1 composure, and savoir faire. Bees in your pants. Itchy pants. These pants make you angry. Good lord, these pants are uncomfortable. Punch someone in the face. They're striped in calf length, too tight around the thighs, too loose around the waist. The worst case scenario. And the master of fashion.
The speakers, you should go over and ask.
I don't care for the speakers, they're the
The
shoes.
you should go over and ask him
Should have
about
gotten
paying
these.
for those sneakers.
Not that it matters. I could have had the full Fallen set at one point. I'm no longer interested in the Fallen. I didn't talk to Ceiling himself, did I?
Wow!
Wow, what?
A cop limping down the street, bleeding from the shoulder, face bruised, looking like hell? You know what that is? Cool! That's cool!
He nods and settles back into the pile of boxes. I don't need his money. Alright, let's go talk to Kuno. Then Cindy the Skull. I guess start heading towards the fishing village. Joyce shouldn't be there. It might be like a perception check or something where Joyce's boat used to be.
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool.
He shrugs. Who's saying that?
People, they say you'd kind of died for a moment, that you let your shit out already, but then came back. So I guess that's what's cool now. Just don't think because you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now, Kuno's gonna treat you different. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that.
He says, looking at your pathetic limp.
Feels good for some reason.
Watch out, pig. It's a dangerous world out there. But Kuno's got his eyes on you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Who knows?
Kuno starts doing the I got my eyes on you gesture repeatedly.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, let us go to the fishing village. Or the church. Let's see if they have anything to say about what happened. Kind of sad we couldn't talk to Tiago about all these people moving into his church.
Oh, the god of dance is back! I'm dancing with the god of dance!
He dances over to you, moving in a slightly less lame manner.
Goodbye, officer.
Alright, so they don't have anything to say, it seems, about what happened.
Yo, man.
Yeah. Alright, let's exit here and we'll read a book. Well, I guess we can try talking to the washwoman too. How much time have we killed since? No, 16 minutes. Not a ton of time, but some time. Whoops, sorry, my chair creaked.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got shot.
Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
The woman chuckles to herself. I guess you were right. The men with guns were coming for me after all.
I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind, officer.
She nods.
Then we'll be ready for them.
Yes, we will. Alright, I'm gonna avoid talking to Lillian for right now. Oh, she finished her boat. You should ask the owner before you take this boat to the island. Yeah, we'll get around to that. Let's go in here and read in a cozy place. And play some board games with, Kim. I'm hoping this is enough to pass 10 hours of time. So I would like to finish that thought. At the very least, we'll finish these two thoughts, even if I don't get to finish this one. Alright, let's start with 16 Days of Coldest April.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekatina Dar. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
It feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Start reading.
In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes.
What happens next?
It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? Fuck it. Do it. It can't be worse than what you've already felt.
Read 10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair, and in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft.
And the woman.
She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
This is terrible.
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret. Good stuff. I fucking loved this.
I put the book away. Jeez. Oh yeah, I did forget to go talk to the pawn shop owner. Let's go do that. And see if he has anything worth buying. Also, I'm really interested in finishing this thought. Because I think this is the longest one, right? Was it? It's over halfway done. 54%. So that'd have been, what, 20 hours long to research that? That's absurd. So I hit my desk. I'm making all sorts of noise over here. So now he sells the speakers. I'm not interested in those, but I thought he had other stuff for sale as well.
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted
Oh, the
floor.
streetlight for 700 real. Yeah,
All the
not
old
bad.
boombox. You see rows of toy soldiers.
Nope, we bought everything we could here, I think.
Between you and me, this is why I don't get involved in local politics.
He looks you up and down. Well, someone has to.
So it goes. Now, what can I do for you?
The pawnbroker nods gravely, then shrugs. Then he asks. Oh, that's it. He's a pretty alright guy, though. He went the extra mile to help us a couple of times, despite initially not wanting to. He gave us a vague description of who he sold the gun to. He fixed something for us. What did he fix for us? Oh, the tape for the ravers. Even though he doesn't like music. Okay, let's put the board games down here, just to organize this a little bit. There we go. Alright, medicinal purposes of the pale.
Medicinal purposes of the pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols.
Open the book.
Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Is there anything in there about restoring lost memories?
There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
I just want something that will soothe the relentless torment of my existence.
What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that.
Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover?
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot?
Rub your hands together. Alright, book. Let's see what you got.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Ginger root.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
A bullet with tea made from birch bark.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
A spoonful of sugar.
The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The sugar just makes it taste better. The very thought of this tea causes your muscles to relax and your mind to clear. You're more present and in control than you were a moment ago.
Savor the feeling a moment longer.
A tingle rushes down your spine, and you feel your toes uncurl. If only it could always be like this.
I want to try to concoct one of those hangover cures again.
Very well. First, choose a base ingredient.
A sprig of fresh mint.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
Mash it into a paste with some aloe vera extract.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Some wild ginseng root.
The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea
It's the same
will
exact
help
thing as
you
last
flush
time.
out. You imagine yourself with a mug of this tea in a chair by the window. It's a beautiful image, but will it ever come true for you?
Yeah, it didn't change this description even when I selected something different. Put the book away.
Cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes, the blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all.
I forgot how I unlocked this thought. So +1 suggestion, wake up. +1 to Inland Empire and a new life. And +1 rhetoric by the seaside. That's a really good one. +1 to 3 different stats. Where did I get this one? Like, I remember unlocking it. I just don't remember what caused it to unlock. Was this from the church? I think we unlocked this in the church. And this only has 7 minutes until it's done. This one still has... Hey, we've made some decent time. We knocked off a couple of hours, so... Let's hope I finish this one before the end. Because, again, this one I think is the longest... Well, I mean, I haven't unlocked all of them. Done pretty good, though. I feel like as many times as we've been called Buerdero, we'd have unlocked that one. Hobo Cop. Huh. The Suicide of Kraz Mazov. We've interacted with a lot of his stuff, too. A hat, the bust. Did we read a book about him as well? Or something like that. Litany of Contact Mike? Come on. I'll talk about Contact Mike a lot to his cell. I wonder if I missed like one check or something for these. Either way, I'm going to call it here. Next episode, we will start by reading a book and playing a couple of games. I assume you play the games. I don't actually know if you do. I assume you're not going to just sit there and read them. Hopefully we play them with Kim. We'll see. Is he in here with me? Oh, he's probably waiting outside. So I probably got to do that outside with him. Alright, either way, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.